the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024 versus the Nothing Phone 1. These are two devices that I own, that I use, and I just wanted to share my thoughts with my experience with both of these devices and kind of compare them together. They are great phones and worth picking up in 2025. That is for sure. The things that you get for them, the different, features that they have, whether you think they're gimmicky or not, they're actually really good. And in this video, I'm going to be comparing that, from the Nothing Phone 1 and, all the features that it's able to bring. It's just one of the phones that I find to be pleasant. The Snapdragon 778G Plus processor chip handles everything pretty good. And when you go over to the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024, you got a lot of cool features going on there. This processor chip for that one, the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1, handles everything that I can throw at it. You got pretty decent camera sensors on there. There's a lot to love about both of these phones. With the Moto G Stylus, I think one of the big things that I like about it is just its change up from what it was previously before with the 2023 model and the 2022 model. They really went really good, and I don't want to say all out because there's still more to want from Motorola, especially with the upcoming G Stylus 2025 model. But you get an in-display fingerprint sensor now. You got this nice large display. You got the cameras on here that are good for photography and videography, and it's even got some pretty cool camera features like dual capture mode, which if they would just beef up the stabilization, it would be amazing. Now you do get good video stabilization when you're within the camera in itself. As you guys can see, I'm just recording real quick with the G Stylus, pan around a little bit, and we're going to zoom in some of the shots so you guys can see how the video recording is. But the problem is that with the dual capture mode, only one of the cameras is going to gain the stabilization. The other one, it'll get pretty jittery, so if you are walking and stuff like that, it wouldn't be so good. But the zoom on the Moto G Stylus is pretty awesome, pretty neat, and I think that the video recording on it is pretty good. And when you look over to the Nothing Phone 1, which was a device that was released before the G Stylus 2024, all the specifications that it has, Nothing OS 3.0 that it's currently on, and just some of the subtle things that, when you use it, it's no slouch. It's a decent phone. Yes, it would be classified mid-range, but it is still, in my opinion, a powerful device. And with its cameras, the cameras do pretty good, especially with video recording. I like the videos that I can take with it. So let me demo that for you guys real quick. But this is shot with the Nothing Phone 1. And, there's a little slight haze effect to it, I've noticed. Probably because I end up touching the camera sensors quite often. But, this is, zooming in to these little gift cards here at Starbucks. And, yeah, I think that, it does good. At least, to get some good videos for social media and stuff like that. Content creating, I really wouldn't go as far as to say that, it's very good at content creating. But at least, with the zoom, you get in some pretty good zoom shots. And so when it comes down to, the G Stylus 2024, I think one of the big takeaways is that stylus there. You have it to use to jot down notes and, just do all kinds of other things that you can. Like you can create GIFs with it. But it's not like a Bluetooth stylus. You can't use it for like a remote shutter button for the cameras. Which, I don't know, we could probably see that in the future. We could definitely see Motorola step it up, but obviously with doing something like that, we could expect then the pricing for the G Stylus lineup to go up in price more. And I think one big advantage that this has over the Nothing Phone 1 is that it's got a 3.5mm headphone jack, and you don't see that very often in smartphones these days. So, of course we could all appreciate Motorola for keeping that around. But I like what Motorola has done recently, and I'm looking forward to the future of Motorola devices. If they continue on this path of pumping out devices like this, they will be a force to be reckoned with. However, Nothing is no slouch either. And while they are a startup, lineup of phones and everything like that from Carl Pei, You know, we have the Nothing Phone 3A and 3A Pro coming out, and then the previous devices, this right here, the Nothing Phone 1, the first gen, everything like that. You know, you don't really see a lot of companies come out of the gate with their first phones and it just be really amazing. Everything about this phone, I would not think would be mid-range. You know, the processor chip doesn't feel like it's a mid-range phone. The software itself and how well it's optimized, you wouldn't even know unless you read the specifications. And even the fact of attention to detail, making the bezels, you know, symmetrically even all the way around the displays, not having a big one at the bottom and at the top, the left and right. You know, I could appreciate even the smallest things like that. Tells me that Nothing is really here to stay, and they're really going to bring something amazing in the future. And I can only imagine when this is fully released in the US, because the only downside to the Nothing Phone 1, in my opinion, is that it's not Verizon supported. That's the only downside. Everything else about it is awesome. And as long as you take care of those camera sensors, you'll probably have a much better video than the one that I showed today. But nonetheless, both these two devices are really solid, really worth picking up in 2025. And me personally, I would choose a Nothing Phone 1. I just like more of what Nothing is offering. But the Motorola, it doesn't mean the Motorola is a bad phone. Now, if Nothing didn't exist, then the Moto would be my choice. But that's my thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts, comments, concerns, questions, emotional outbursts? Drop them in the comments. And thanks for checking out this video of my thoughts of the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024 versus the Nothing Phone 1.